We are taught to imagine a universe built of tiny, solid spheres pinging around empty space. But the math underneath our deepest physical models points to a different foundation. Reality is pure, restless geometry, constantly seeking a state of balance. Before anything permanent takes shape, the baseline state of reality is an ocean of quantum noise. It's a void where raw values fluctuate wildly, and no configuration can manage to persist for more than a fraction of a second. The fundamental physical problem here is structural. Without a specific mechanism to lock moving dimensions into a rigid, permanent architecture, any temporary order is instantly torn apart by the surrounding chaos. The noise simply erases it. To persist, the fluctuating noise must align into a configuration that folds back on itself perfectly. This produces perfect structural closure, a unique shape that traps its own energy and prevents it from dissipating into the void. The K4 tetrahedron is the unique solution to that void. It is the most efficient three-dimensional shape capable of distributing stress equally across all its faces, allowing it to lock into a state of total stability. This tetrahedron functions as a discrete packet of spacetime. It defines the geometry of the room it occupies, acting as a fundamental container of spatial volume. Snapping into this rigid geometry is only the initial hurdle. The moment the tetrahedron forms, the surrounding quantum noise exerts immense pressure on its boundaries. The structure continuously expends energy just to hold its shape. The emergence of reality is an active, ongoing mechanical struggle. These geometric seeds must relentlessly fight to maintain their structural integrity against the void. The moment these geometric packets try to transport information or shift position, they encounter severe physical friction. This resistance is known as kinematic drag. We can measure this drag down to the decimal. Every time a packet advances, it suffers a 6.03-degree phase lag, grinding against a background of chiral grit that constantly threatens to rip its vertices apart. Because of this relentless shearing force, no individual K4 packet has the strength to survive on its own. A solitary seed in the void quickly degrades and dissolves back into noise. The only way for these vulnerable structures to endure the friction of existence is to link their faces together. Cosmic evolution is driven by the strict mathematical necessity for these geometric seeds to interlock. When trillions of these packets bond together to share the load, they form a vast, rigid structural lattice that stretches across the entire cosmos. This shows a galactic high-tension grid. Radiating tethers create immense structural tension, stiffening space itself. This mechanical stiffness provides the gravitational pull holding the galaxy together. The geometry keeps stellar mass nodes from flying apart, replacing the need for invisible dark matter. Looking at Andromeda, we see this immense web in action. The stars and gas clouds are caught along synchronized interference ripples within the geometric mesh. Galaxies function as tightly synchronized machines. They are highly engineered geometric survival webs built to withstand the chaotic forces of the void. This diagram shows manifold saturation. The red boundary interface represents the limit where the 3D geometric mesh reaches maximum capacity and spacetime collapses inward. Here, forward growth halts, forcing overloaded energy into an inner 4D nodal core. This saturation marks the functional end of the 3D growth phase. The system hits a mechanical limit where structural tension can no longer distribute through the lattice. Once saturated, the architecture triggers a thermal melt. The rigid geometric lattice purposely breaks down, dissolving into a fluid state of chaotic light. As the lattice dissolves, the high-density nodes offload their data into the 4D core via discrete ledger deposit events. Every unique state is recorded on this informational ledger, ensuring the internal configuration remains, even as the external geometry liquefies. This central ledger acts as a superprism for the next cycle. Through recursive seed flux, it ejects the stored data back into the dark void, providing the starting blueprints for the next iteration of reality. Humanity is an active recorded participant in a permanent geometric engine. The universe learns how to organize, archives its most complex structures, and uses that stored knowledge to blossom again.